Morning. Welcome to our Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a type of conversation. For those that are new to the channel, make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being. However, in today's conversation, we'll be talking about navigating grief and loss, finding hope after heartbreak. So I want to take in consideration because grief is one of the life most universal experiences, yet one of the hardest things to face. Whether it's a loss from a loved one, end of a relationship, or just a shattering dream, grief could take a significant toll on the way that we feel. We maybe feel broken, we may feel confused, we may feel even alone, but healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to live with love and loss side by side. And in this video, we're going to be able to navigate through that with me. So stick with me, grow with me, and we'll be able to navigate through this, right? So like I said, you're not the only one that's able to go through this experience. Other people are able to go through this experience, but I really want us to take in consideration of how to navigate through this. So stick with me in regards to our first segment. What is grief and why does it hurt so much, right? So our first key concept is defining grief, right? So a natural emotion response to loss, not just sadness, but a complex mix of emotions like anger, guilt, confusion, and longing, right? So depending on the situation in regards to the departure, in regards to someone, for instance, like losing the person, we don't know if we ended off on a good foot or we ended up on a bad foot. So there could be different emotions that, may linger in regards to our body and our mind, in regards to that grief, right? Next is going to be the many faces of grief, right? So we have death, we have breakups, we have health loss, we have job loss, we have major life transitions. So there's different faces in regards to grief and how that may impact in our lives. Next would be why grief hurts, right? So our brain and hearts are wired for attachment, right? When that bond breaks, the pain is both emotional and physical, right? So it definitely takes a toll on various aspects of our lives, like I mentioned. And the myth of moving on, right? So true healing isn't about forgetting. It's about moving forward with love and memories we carry. So I think it's really important to take in consideration that we need to be able to have a positive mentality as we're navigating through this, and just try to focus on positive memories, positive things, to be able to keep ourselves more balanced and kind of like self-sabotaging. So I really want to take in consideration as we're dealing with various loss. And if we're able to fall down, we're able to get back up. But if we really lost someone, let's just be real. Let's just try our best to, like I said, focus on those positive memories, those positive thoughts, so we're able to kind of keep our mind and our well-being in a positive, kind of vibration, or where it's supposed to be in that type of sense, right? So I want us to really think about, someone we lost perhaps, right? And what emotions arise when we kind of remember them, right? And what might those, feelings be teaching us in that, overall. So I think it's really important, like I said, to have a positive mentality, try our best to really think positive if possible, and we're able to navigate with a positive mentality overall, right? So let's move on to our next segment in regards to the journey through grief, right? Stages and realities, right? So life doesn't get any realer. So I really want us to, like I said, just really be transparent as we're navigating through grief. So our first key concept in regards to this segment, we're going to be talking about the stages, right? So we have denial, we have anger, we have bargaining, we have depression, and we have acceptance, right? So it's not linear, but it's a cycle, and they're unique for everybody, right? So everybody's different, everybody's situation is going to be different, everybody's feelings are going to be different, but there's different stages, and we got to be able to take that into consideration as we're navigating through. We also have the no right way to grieve, right? We're going to take that into consideration, that just because you don't see someone crying doesn't mean they ain't tore from the floor up, right? Everybody's response to everybody's body is going to be different. We have to just mind our business and focus on our well-being, so we're able to move proactively, right? So everyone's timeline and process is going to be different overall in that sense. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about grief triggers, right? So anniversaries, songs, smells, and places can reopen emotional wounds, and that's okay. So we really want us to be able to take in consideration that when we're going through those emotions, for instance, if, you was out here taking your grandmother shopping or grocery shopping, for instance, and you're heading to a grocery store, heading to a spot or wherever it may be, and a song on the radio comes on, you're like, oh snap, that used to be a song that I bought with my grandma or whatever. Like, you may start to feel those emotions and reminisce, etc. But feel those emotions, maybe perhaps later on journal about it, right? Really want to be able to kind of just be present as possible, have that mindfulness, and these triggers may linger, but at the same time too, with the positive mentality, you're able to navigate through and have that gratitude, have that appreciation, and let that moment really sit with you, and that can really be a good moment for yourself. Next is going to be healing isn't forgetting, right? So it's learning to carry out your loss differently over time. So as you progress, as you navigate, as you find better coping skills and strategies, things will get better over time. But like I said, this is something that we have to be able to accept, and it's going to be different for everybody, right? So a quote I also want to be able to include is grief never ends, but it changes, right? So it's a passage, not a place to stay. So as we navigate through life, life's not going to be cane lane. We're going to have our moments when, things just may happen. We may be losing people. We may lose a job. We may lose someone in a relationship, significant people, right? We don't have control of everything, but we have control over ourselves, over our mentality, the way that we think, right? We can definitely, like I said, try to push for more of that positive thinking to be able to help our well-being out to the best of its capabilities, right? And like I said, overall, the brain is dealing with this anxiety, is dealing with this turbulence as well. So we have to figure out ways we're able to make things feel more conducive with ourselves and proactively seek that support if necessary. So next segment, we're going to be talking about how to cope, right? Tools for healing, and that resilience, right? So I really want us to take consideration that, like I said, if we fall down, we're able to get back up, we're able to navigate through challenges, we're able to improve, we're able to, persist and move forward with those coping skills, right? So first key concept we're going to be talking about is feel what you feel, right? So avoid suppressing those emotions. We don't want to be sitting there putting things in the closet. When someone asks you, are you okay? You keep saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But deep down, there's something going on, right? So let yourself cry. Let yourself express the anger. Let yourself sit with that sadness. Let yourself have that solitude. If you do need a friend or someone, reach out. Do what you have to do is best for yourself. But let yourself really feel those emotions. Next is going to be create rituals, right? So you want to have ways we're able to do things that are beneficial for yourself, moments of prayer, lighting a candle, writing a letter, right? Visiting meaningful places to be able to honor that loss. That can be really good. For instance, for me and my grandmother, we enjoy like bodies of water, for instance. So it's like being near lakes, being near ponds, being near ocean, being near, like just water, it's able to give us that relaxation feeling. So I do things like that. And I think about positive memories. I think about, like give yourself those things. And that's really going to be able to help you navigate through. And like I said, loss is something that we all have to accept, whether it's a person, whether it's a pet, whether it's, it's a car that we have for 15 plus years and was holding us down through, thick and through thin, right? But we have to be able to accept change, even though it is uncomfortable. Next, as I mentioned multiple times, is that seek that support, right? So talk to friends, support groups, even mental health professionals to be able to help you navigate that distress and help you navigate what coping skills may be beneficial for you. Next is going to be practice self-compassion. We got to be able to treat ourselves gentle. We got to be able to treat ourselves with that kindness. And grief is not weakness. It's a sign of deep love, right? So when we're able to be kind to ourselves, we're able to kind of, like I said, keep pushing that positivity. We're going to be able to allow ourselves to know that everything's okay. I'm not the only one, right? And I'm able to navigate through this with a positive mindset. Next is going to be find purpose in the pain, right? So many people find meaning through creativity, helping other people, or honoring loved ones' legacy, right? So you have a last name, all right? You are a human being. You have a purpose. You have, gifts and unique qualities and abilities, right? Even if you've got a disability out there, you still have, a glow. You still have a light. You still have a purpose to you. So we have to really recommend to pushing ourselves towards, like I said, that positive mentality where we're doing things to be able to uplift ourselves rather than stay in sorrow and let ourselves sabotage in a negative way. So try your best to get yourself together, accept what's going on, feel those emotions, and proactively work towards building yourself up so you can represent yourself and your family or whoever that situation may be for yourself in a positive way, right? So when healing, it may feel impossible, but we have to focus on the small acts of care and that love and that self-compassion. So one deep breath, one walk outside, or just one kind word to yourself can really make that difference. So I'm really emphasizing us to really take in consideration to push for that more positivity. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about supporting others through grief, right? So we really want to be able to take in consideration off rip is be present, not perfect, right? So you don't try to articulate the perfect word to be able to, just be present, right? So you don't need to, like I said, look for those perfect words. Just your present matters the most. So try your best to just listen and just absorb and just really marinate. Next, we're going to be talking about listen without judgment. So allow yourself to share memories, pain, or just even the silence without judgment, right? So it's really important for us when we're supporting others going through grief. Just you being there just makes the difference, right? Opening up, being vulnerable, talking about things, and it really helps the dynamic out as well. So try your best to just be authentic, try your best to be loving, try your best to be open, but also too, try your best to just listen. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about, avoid the cliches. So instead of saying that they're in a better place right now, try to really just embrace, like I said, being present and say that I'm here for you. This must be so hard, and just let that, let them really kind of debrief and let those emotions just kind of come out so they're able to kind of, come back at ease. You know what I mean? And next is going to be checking regularly, you know what I mean? Like, so we got to take in consideration when people are going through things, right? Or even just putting that aside, is that people are so prone to pop out when it comes to the fun. People are so prone to pop out when everything's going good, when life is just the sun's shining and everything's good. But when people are going through, tough times, it seems to be like, it's crickets, right? So if you know someone's going through, tough time, be a supporting hand, help them out, right? So grief doesn't always end with the funeral. Ongoing supports do matter. Check in with them, tap in with them, see how things are going, encourage them, bring a meal over, encourage them to go to the gym, like build them up, try your best to really be that helping hand, right? And motivation is really something that's going to be able to help someone else out in that note, right? So do the best that you can and check in regularly to help them, get back to where they need to be. So I really want us to take in consideration and moving forward is going to be finding hope after a heartbreak, right? So we have to take in consideration that hope is there with a positive mindset that's going to be able to help us navigate through the darkness or whatever these feelings are of distress, right? So hope isn't forgetting, right? It's finding ways to keep love alive within us, right? So we have to be able to tell ourselves that, for instance, I lost my grandmother this year, 88 years old, right? And she was phenomenal, the best woman that, like just really was it all. And I'm gonna keep it a band with you. She wasn't the most educated woman, but she was a giving woman. Like my grandmother would provide so much value, it's ridiculous. And even too, like I said too, value can also too just be listening, just being present, and that's something that she always would do. Grocery shopping with her, and just hope is something that I still keep within myself, right? So when I'm going through a tough time and this and that, I think about her and I think about the resilience and how she navigated through all these years on, being on this planet, and she made it through. So I really want to take in consideration that the love is still within us. She's still within us. By me shining and doing things that I'm doing, she's still within me. She's shining with me, you feel me? So we got to be able to have that consistent mindset and recognize that hope isn't about forgetting. Just because she ain't here don't mean that she ain't here, you feel me? She here, right? But we got to be able to, like I said, really push for positive thinking, push for embracing, push for acceptance, and understanding that these emotions are okay, but we got to really recognize hope. Moving forward, we're going to be talking about growth through grief. We got to be able to recognize that loss can deepen empathy, right? And strengthen our compassion, right, to life overall. So we have to be able to recognize that growth is a part of this journey as well. And even too, honoring the past, right? So embracing the future, carrying moments, memories moving forward while remaining open to new experience, right? So, we can still love people that's not here, but we also have to be able to embrace the future, embrace what is to come, embrace, like I said, as we're navigating through, we're having that glow, we're having that light, we're having that purpose, we're doing things we have to do, we're still honoring them as well, right? So moving forward, we also could talk about gratitude and legacy, right? Channeling love into that purpose, storytelling, charity, or a creative expression is going to be able to help us, right, navigate through, and just having that overall, gratitude is something that's going to be helping us navigate through, of this distress, and even just building our legacy up for, that positive mindset, right? So hope is something that we can, linger on. It's something that we can keep on. It's something that we can, do. You don't have to sit here and buy jewels and do all this cool stuff too, which is cool. If you have it, you have it. But you have to recognize too, in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul, these people are going to be there with you. But it's about the mindset, how you navigate, and decisions that you make to be able to kind of shine that light on that. So I really want us to emphasize, like I said, with a positive mindset. And a mind shift I want to be able to include is hope doesn't erase pain. It coexists within it, right? So healing means learning to live fully again, even with the scars, right? So regardless of what happened, regardless if you're on a bad, foot with the individual or a good foot with the individual, we have to recognize that hope doesn't erase the pain. However, we have to be able to kind of marinate within that, have the acceptance with that, right? And heal, so we're able to kind of, like I said, reach our full potential, shine, etc. with that positive mindset. I can't emphasize it enough, but positivity will help us get through, right? So just wrapping this video up together, I really want us to take in consideration that love lives on, right? And it's within us, right? So grief changes us, and it has its impact. Don't get it twisted. However, it doesn't have the ability to destroy us, right? Every tear, every memory, every ache is a testament of that love that mattered, right? So healing doesn't have to be just letting go, right? It means that holding on differently. If you are grieving, remember that you are not alone. Other people out here went through the same thing as well, right? But we got to be able to take, your time, whatever's best for you, right? Reassess yourself, make sure you got, yourself together. Seek that proactive support if necessary. We obviously advocate for that professional, get that professional help. Make sure you have the tools, right? And things won't just disappear, but because love remains within you and that positive mindset, things will be able to be much better for that well-being. If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, stay blessed.